Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive, and today we're doing something a little bit different.
Different? How so?
Well, you see, we're diving deep into a topic we haven't really touched on before, professional kitchen rule number 10, respect for tradition.
Oh, interesting.
And to do that, we're going to be taking a look at a fascinating piece on, get this, eastafricachef.com.
EastAfricaChef.com. Okay.
Yeah. And I know what you're thinking, what does East Africa have to do with, well, anything, and that's a valid question.
Right.
But trust me on this. This article is a gold mine, and it's all about something that's close to my heart food traditions.
Yeah. I get you. Food traditions are huge. Every culture has them, right? Like these culinary threads connecting us through generations.
Exactly. And this article really digs deep into why respecting those traditions, especially in a professional kitchen, is so important.
Which is interesting, right? Because you often hear about kitchens being these, pressure cookers of creativity and innovation.
Right. Absolutely.
So where does tradition fit into all of that? I think that's a good place to start. This idea that respecting tradition isn't about just blindly following old recipes. It's something bigger.
Totally. And that's actually one of the first things this article dives into. It basically says that tradition is kind of like,
The soul of the kitchen?
yeah, like a secret ingredient, right? Like something passed down that forms the very foundation of culinary arts.
I mean, what I find fascinating is the article gives specific examples of this.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Well, it talks about the slow food movement in Italy, emphasizing regional specialties, and how those traditions helped preserve not just recipes, but also the culture of food itself.
It's like that old saying, you don't really know a culture until you've tasted its food, right?
Precisely. And the article also touches upon how specific ingredients are sourced, techniques that have been refined over generations. It's all about preserving these culinary treasures. It's actually something we see in a lot of other fields, too, this idea of generational knowledge being incredibly valuable.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, think about master craftspeople, those who've dedicated their lives to a craft, woodworking, pottery, you name it. The skills and wisdom they carry, passed down through apprenticeships, that's priceless.
It would be a tragedy to lose that, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. And, the same goes for musicians, especially in classical music. The way they study scores, interpretations passed down from maestro's tradition, fuels their art form. Even physicians, the way they approach diagnoses, treatments, it's all built on this foundation of accumulated knowledge from previous generations.
It's like standing on the shoulders of giants, right?
Exactly. And this ties back into the article's emphasis on trusting the chef, trusting the established methods.
Because you've got to learn the rules before you can break them, right?
Exactly. I can't tell you how many times I've tried to cut corners in the kitchen thinking, I can skip this step or substitute that ingredient. It never ends well.
Oh, tell me about it. Like, tell me you've tried to make a meringue on a humid day without using superfine sugar. Please tell me you've done that, because misery loves company.
Oh, we've all been there. But that's the thing, those precise techniques, those seemingly small details, they're there for a reason.
Right. Like, I remember this one time I was trying to recreate this amazing pastry I had at this little bakery downtown.
Okay, but was it?
It was this incredible flaky croissant, and I followed the recipe to a T, but it just didn't turn out the same.
Wow.
Turns out the temperature of the butter was crucial, and I, like an idiot, had just kind of eyeballed it. It was a valuable lesson.
Right. Those time-tested techniques, they're like the secret code to culinary success, I swear.
There's this quote from the article that I absolutely love. It's not about doing things the way others do. It's about respecting the legacy that's been handed to you. That's deep.
Yeah.
What do you think that means outside of the kitchen?
Well, to me, it speaks volumes about the importance of understanding where we come from, honoring the past, while still forging our own paths.
That's like a balance, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Take craftsmanship, for instance. A master carpenter who's learned from generations of artisans before him. He's not just building a table, he's carrying forward a legacy.
That's a really good point.
And it's the same in so many fields, isn't it? It's about respecting those who came before us, learning from their experiences, their successes, and yes, even their mistakes. But it's also about not being afraid to add your own flair,
Absolutely. Because tradition shouldn't stifle creativity, it should encourage it, right?
Exactly. It's like you can't effectively break the rules until you understand why they exist in the first place.
And speaking of which, the article ends on such a powerful note, talking about how chefs carry this torch of tradition. That image really stuck with me.
Oh, such a powerful metaphor.
What do you make of it?
To me, it's about keeping that flame of culinary knowledge burning brightly, passing it on to future generations. It's about understanding that tradition isn't static. It's a living, breathing thing.
I love that. A living, breathing thing.
It evolves, it adapts, but the core, the essence, that respect for the craft, that's what remains constant.
So well put. And as we wrap things up here, I think the big takeaway for me, and hopefully for everyone listening, is that understanding the importance of tradition in a professional kitchen, it's not just about becoming a better cook, is it?
Not at all.
It's about connecting to something bigger than ourselves,
Right.
right? It's about appreciating the legacy of culinary arts and how it binds us together across cultures and generations.
Food is such a universal language, isn't it?
It really is. And it's a beautiful reminder that even in our pursuit of innovation, there's profound value in respecting where we come from.
Couldn't agree more.
So the next time you find yourself sitting down to a delicious meal, take a moment to think about the generations of hands that have shaped those flavors, those techniques, those traditions.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
It really is. And that's it for this deep dive. As always, thanks for listening.
Until next time.